Joining me in the studio for the whole show today are Charlotte Cornell, who hopes to become Labour's MP for Dover at the next election, whenever that is. And Rob Lee is here too. He's the leader of the Conservatives on Hastings Borough Council. Welcome to you both. We're going to start with Brexit because it emerged last week that preparations are underway to turn the M26 into an overflow lorry park should we need it when we leave the EU at the end of March. But the M26 would only be used, we found out recently, once 10,000 vehicles are parked up in Dover at the old Manston Airport and on the M20 as part of the Operation Stack arrangement. So let's gauge the mood from your various parts of the South East. Charlotte, you want to represent Dover, which of course voted out by 63%. Do you think, come April, if people can't travel anywhere on the roads because they're gridlocked, they're going to start changing their minds?
I think so. People in Dover, as you say, they voted to leave the European Union, but they voted to leave the European Union well. They didn't vote for an economic disaster, and the Dover corridor is worth an awful lot of money to not just the Kent but the UK economy. I think if Brexit is delivered badly, yeah, I think the people responsible will be politically punished.
And as a Labour candidate, how difficult is it selling your message? There's been a lot of coverage of how your party favours a customs union. How hard is it selling that message to a hard Brexit voting area?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of door knocking in Dover and Deal in the past 6 months, and actually it's not hard to sell the message. People want to keep trade flowing. Now people are looking at the reality of Brexit and thinking stuff might not move, we might not move, we can't get to see my mum, my dad, my elderly relative, I can't get to hospital or take my kids to school. It's taken on a new meaning and people are looking at it really differently. What's the feeling then in Hastings? I know you're a Remain voting Conservative, but also in a heavily Brexit voting area. Now that no deal gridlock seems to be increasingly on the table, are nerves jangling?
I don't think so. The government's pretty clear that we're leaving the European Union in March, and the plan's already in place for, as you said, to deal with the corridor there and what to do. Operation Stack is there.
But people also don't want Operation Stack, especially in Charlotte's part of the world.
No, I don't suppose they do. However, in Hastings, we're very concerned about the future of our fishing fleet. But leaving the common fisheries policy will be good for our fishermen in Hastings and will be popular.
Yeah, do you have, I mean, Charlotte touched on it there, do you have a clear sense in Hastings, from the people you speak to, what kind of leave they actually voted for?
Well, I think that it depends on who you ask. You'll get a different, there is 1,000 different opinions on what leave and remain now actually mean. I think we've all become experts on many different views with this. I think that people want to leave in good order, and I think people want a deal. However, it's better to leave without a deal than to have a bad deal.
But that is the risk as things stand, isn't it? And for people in your party in particular, your party's in charge of our departure from the EU, it's a nerve-wracking time. You must be worried.
No, I have faith in that Theresa May will deliver Brexit, and a Brexit that we can all be happy with.
OK, a lot of people in your party don't. And Charlotte, one final question to you. Is your best bet then, as a Labour candidate, that we do crash out with no deal, there is chaos, and then people go, actually, Labour might have a solution here?
I hope not. No one wants a nightmare scenario. I mean, absolutely not. But we've got mixed up, we haven't got any joined up thinking in Kent. As you say, they're talking about using Manston. You've got people on Thanet District Council, the Conservatives up there, wanting to develop Manston. So are there going to be cars there, or are there going to be planes? Are there going to be cars on the M20 or the M26? Who's repairing the M2? No one. There's a complete lack of joined up thinking by the Conservatives across the whole of Kent.
OK, well, we'll find out what happens in due course now.